right, Nick, let's talk about the Chicago Bears. This is probably one of the most intriguing teams coming into the draft time, that first overall pick. What are they going to do? Do they trade? Do they use the pick on a new quarterback? Do they use the pick on something else? No one knows, but there is something we do know that the Bears are doing, and that's making a ton of really smart moves. And this latest move by them, I think, shows they're thinking in the right direction, and this team is going to have a lot of cap space going forward. Let's get in the article and talk about it on the other side. This is from Bears Digest. It says Eddie Jackson's cryptic message seems to confirm what everyone else has been concluding all the way back into the 2023 season. He has learned he'll be a cap casualty cut from the Bears this season. Jackson's play at safety took a major step back last year in a few ways, but the main reason his exit has been projected is because of his salary. He signed a 4-year, $58 million extension in 2021. If Jackson's cut is before June 1st, it gives the Bears $12.56 million in cap savings for the final year of his deal, but costs them $5.58 million in cap space. Dead cap, excuse me. If they cut him with a post-June 1st designation, they will get $14.15 million in cap savings, but it will only cost them $3.99 million of dead cap. So it would seem more likely he will get designated as a post-June 1st cut. The Bears are projected by overthecap.com to have $34.7 million in effective cap space, the 8th most. If they cut Jackson, it would really help boost their coffers. Nick, once again, Ryan Poles, really smart move, doing the necessary work to get the Bears in the right direction. I'm curious what your thoughts are on this move, but Bears fans, let us know in the comments section below. Are you okay with them letting Eddie Jackson go? I know he was a rising star in the Bears, but like they said, he kind of fizzled out here in the last year or so. Let us know in the comment section below. Was this a good cap casualty, or is this one that you're disappointed about? Let us know in the comment section below. But Nick, what are your thoughts about this latest move by the Bears?
Yeah, before I go into the specifics of the Eddie Jackson situation in Chicago's two things I want to provide some more details on. First of all, it's the designation of being a pre-June 1st cap casualty versus a post-June 1st cap casualty. The way it works in the salary cap is when you have to be under the cap isn't a factor until the regular season. You can be over the cap literally from today all the way up to that designated point by the NFL in which you have to be under the salary cap. So theoretically, the Chicago Bears could have Eddie Jackson on their roster, on their salary cap, all the way up until June 1st and spend in salary cap dollars over the salary cap and then cut him on June 1st and get all the benefits of doing that, right? If they go over their cap with their moves in March, April, May, if they really spend as if they've already cut Eddie Jackson, that's perfectly fine. So it doesn't mean that the Bears will have to cut him early to avoid that cap hit. They can wait till after June 1st and the cap dollars will all work out the same. So while Eddie Jackson may not officially be cut until after June 1st, in all practicality, he already is released by the Chicago Bears. The Bears and Ryan Poles will treat this offseason as if he is released, as they should. And the other thing I want to give some more details on is the phrase effective cap space. So overthecap.com, great website. When they say effective cap space, that's a difference between real cap space. Over the cap, those a few $1 million in there for signing draft picks. So what they do is they look at how many draft picks a team has, where they are in the draft, how much it'll think it'll cost that team to sign those, and they deduct the cap space that they have by that amount. So Bears fans, if you look at the numbers and say, I thought the Bears had $46 million in cap space, they really do. Over the cap, just throw some numbers in there just for signing the draft picks. All right, now that we got those definitions defined and all those particulars cleared up, the Eddie Jackson move is the perfect decision. And it's one of those things. You talked about him being a rising star. He really was. If you look at him in the 2018 through 2019 window, he was one of the elite safeties in the NFL. He had a few fall-off years. In 2022, the turnovers picked up, had 4 picks. But in 2023, he was not a very good football player. And he's on the wrong side of 30 now. If you look at overthecap.com, a great website, highly recommend people use it. They take a factor of each player and they come up with a variable they call valuation. They look at position, they look at age, they look at production. And Eddie Jackson has a valuation of salary cap dollars of $1.5 million right now. His salary cap hit in 2024, if the Bears were to keep him, would be $18 million. Again, he's worth 1.5. He would cost 18. It's just smart business to move off from him. And look, I know he's a great leader. I know he plays hard. I know he had a lot of good years for the Bears, especially that 2018, 2019 window. But Ryan Poles moving off of Eddie Jackson is just the smart move. It's just good business. This is why Poles has proven himself to be a smart GM. He's not perfect. He's made some mistakes. But all in all, considering the situation he took over when he came to the Chicago Bears, I think he's done a phenomenal job. And this move is more proof of just that.
Yeah, and I think doing this for the Bears will allow guys like Jaquan Brisker to step up and take more of that leadership
Fair
role.
point.
A young, again, rising star for the Bears. I think Brisker's done really well. I think he showed himself to be a valuable asset to this defensive side of the ball. But also, you talk about Jackson being the leader, being, a strong role in the locker room. I think a guy like Montez Sweat came in and really started to play great. He started to be a great leader. And now you don't need Jackson. If the play's not there, a guy like Montez Sweat can really rally this locker room. And we kind of saw that at the end of last season. Montez Sweat really did a great job of rallying around this locker room. Once again, the Bears, great in secondary. Jalen Johnson had a phenomenal year this year as well, the number one graded corner by PFF. So I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden he became a superstar on the field. Really, really stepped it up. So there's that as well. So I think this secondary, this Bears team is going to be fine. And I think the leadership aspect, I think Montez Sweat came in and is really going to step up and show himself as a leader on the defense side of the ball. So I think this necessary move by the Bears to really start to get some more cash flow, which they already have a lot of, but more can only help. We're going to see this Bears team transform this offseason. I'm really excited to see the moves that Ryan Poles pulls off.
And again, it's when you look at the numbers and you look at the data, it's just Eddie Jackson just isn't what he was. I mean, there was a time, if you look at Pro Football Focus and their grades in 2018, he was the best safety basically in all of football with a 94.7 coverage grade at the safety position. That's outstanding. But 3 of the past 4 years, his grade last season, 2023, 58.6, 2020, 59.8, 2021, 59.0. 2022, like I said, was a good bounce back year. He graded into 76. But outside of that, 3 of the past 4 years, he's been a failing grade as a safety. His tackling has dropped. He's on the wrong side of 30, except for 2022. The turnovers have dipped. It's time to move on. And I know Jackson, he's kind of a fan favorite. He's a hustle player. He seems to be a good team guy. But the reality is, if the Bears want to take that next step and return to the postseason and make deep playoff runs, like obviously all Bears fans and everyone on Chicago wants them to do, they're going to have to make hard business decisions like that, removing fan favorites, good team guys like Eddie Jackson, just because it's the right move for the business. And look, we all know it. It's said a million times. It's a cliche, but it's 100% true. The NFL is a business, and it's a brutal business. And credit to Ryan Poles for treating it as such and making the right move here.